Presidential election is less than 24 hours away. The White House hopefuls are making a strong push to the finish. Tensions are climbing between the U.S. and Pakistan after a series of deadly missile strikes in the Southeast Asian country. And Halloween may be over, but many trick-or-treaters are still enjoying their leftover loot. Are some sweets actually healthier than others? Hi, I'm Carl Lazouz. First up, the end of the campaign trail is in sight. Senator Barack Obama has been leading Senator John McCain in recent polls by about 7 points. But according to CNN's polling director, about 10% of voters make up their minds in the last days of an election. At a rally in Pennsylvania yesterday, Senator John McCain promised his supporters a win. The Republican nominee told the crowd that they are 2 days to victory. And he said that he and his running mate will bring real change to Washington. Senator Barack Obama was campaigning in Ohio yesterday. He's encouraging his supporters to close the deal in his final push for the White House. Over the weekend, some news broke about the Democratic candidate's aunt. She's from Kenya and living in the U.S. illegally. Senator Obama's campaign says he did not know about his aunt's status, but he believes that the appropriate laws should be followed. Now, you know a lot of people are getting a jump on Election Day by casting their ballots early. You might have seen the really long lines. 31 states offered this option, and millions of voters have taken advantage, sometimes while they're running their daily errands. Brooke Baldwin visits some unusual polling locations.
The phrase one-stop shopping takes on new meaning in New Jersey this election year.
It's strange to tell my coworkers I'd be going to the mall to vote and be back when it's all done.
Lori Kovaleski and other shoppers searching for sales are discovering a different kind of bargain here, early voting. At this county clerk outpost, people don't have to provide an excuse to cast an absentee ballot. They can just get in line at lunchtime and vote. The county clerk's office says a record 11,000 plus people have already done so at 2 mall locations.
On election day, I'm going to Disney, so we would head to absentee ballot. This is so convenient. Came here lunchtime, do errands, vote. I feel great.
I wanted to get my vote in early before November the 4th because I think it's important.
Some are concerned the cardboard partitions, bubble-in ballots, and lockbox appear unofficial. But the county clerk contends every vote will be counted.
It's a personal choice of what you're comfortable with. This was just a way to try to accommodate people who have different needs or wants. And it seems as if it's working.
Here at this New Jersey mall location, voters can apply for, fill out, and then submit paper absentee ballots. And it's this kind of convenience that is popping up at other non-traditional polling places nationwide.
Drive-through voting is catching on in California. In Nevada, more malls are offering early voting options, and Georgians are rolling up their sleeves, getting vaccinated and voting.
A flu shot and casting a ballot. I guess that's pain in 2 different ways.
Political analyst Larry Sabato says early voting is on the rise.
Americans want a way to vote without expense, without the waste of time, and probably without the pressure of going to a special place on one particular day.
Quick and convenient, says this shopper.
I probably will shop a little while I'm here too, so works out well.
As for whom she's voting, her lips and her ballot are sealed. Brooke Baldwin, CNN, Deptford, New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up and make your guess. Who will win the presidency? That is the focus of our new learning activity. It challenges students to predict tomorrow's outcome by analyzing information about this year's swing states. Check it out at cnnstudentnews.com.
Time for a shout-out. What state conducts 100% of its voting by mail? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it Maine, Nebraska, Oregon, or Rhode Island? You've got 3 seconds. Go! In 1998, Oregonians elected to pass up polling places and start voting via the mail. That's your answer, and that's your shout-out.
Whichever candidate is elected, he's going to have to make decisions that affect other countries, like last week's controversial attack in Syria. An American official described it as a successful strike against an al-Qaeda terrorist. Syria claims that 8 civilians were killed. Well, a similar situation has been taking place in Pakistan. Reza Sayah takes us to the scene of recent explosions.
Tensions intensify between Islamabad and Washington after something we have not seen in recent years. Back-to-back suspected U.S. missile strikes targeting militants on Pakistani soil in two separate areas of Pakistan's tribal region. According to sources within the Pakistani military, those strikes killing at least 28 people, and there are reports that among the killed is an al-Qaeda operative. On Saturday, Pakistan's Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani repeated Pakistan's position on these missile strikes. And that position is Pakistan does not like them. They think they're counterproductive. They think they strengthen militants, and they would like them to stop. Well, they are not stopping. They are increasing. On Friday night, those back-to-back attacks in the tribal region, a region that Washington is convinced is home to al-Qaeda and the Taliban. The first attack on Friday night targeted a compound in North Waziristan. That strike, according to military sources, killed at least 21 people. And then, a short time later, came the second strike targeting a militant compound in South Waziristan. That strike killing at least 7 people. This is more evidence that Washington is getting more aggressive with militants on Pakistan's tribal region. Just notice the numbers. In October, 9 suspected U.S. missile strikes. That's the highest one-month total we've seen in recent years. Friday, you had the back-to-back strikes, and in September, you had the unprecedented ground incursion by U.S. soldiers. All these incidents have been followed by strong protests by the Pakistani government, but these missile strikes continue to increase, and so does tension between two nations who are supposed to be partners in the U.S.-led war on terror. Reza Sayah, CNN, Islamabad.
Is this legit? The government of Pakistan is a federal republic. Legit. In this form of government, the country's leader, usually a president, is elected by the citizens.
Back in the U.S., another republic. Got candy? You got a lot to say about it on our blog. A district in Massachusetts is planning to ban candy from campus early next year. Will Darien called that unnecessary. He said it certainly won't do the kids any good because all they'll want to do is go home and eat more of it. Kayla says she understands the school not selling candy, but to cancel it out altogether is way too extreme. On Halloween, Carissa planned to go out as Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Then she wrote, "I will go home and eat my candy." Victoria was going out as a cave woman, and she planned to eat most of her candy as well. Now, if you didn't inhale all of your candy over the weekend, you might be debating how to scarf through the rest of your stash. I know I am. Well, one nutritionist's preference is another dentist's nightmare. Judy Fortin fills us up on all the sweet details.
A bucket full of Halloween candy is a kid's dream. But ask a nutritionist about the loot on the table and you'll hear words like fat, calories, and sugar.
I don't really know if there's a great option as far as a healthy candy for a child.
Healthy or not, what's the best choice when it comes to doling out treats?
If you look for something that's more of the chewy, sugary type of things, like the licorices, the sticky, chewy candies, those are going to be lower in calories. They're also going to take longer to eat, so therefore consumption's going to slow down.
Just what dentists don't want to hear. Many prefer chocolate treats because they dissolve quickly and don't stick to teeth. But registered dietitian Julie Schwartz contends candy bars may contain fattening nuts, nougat, and caramel. Experts tell parents to set some limits.
Have something healthy, and then you can have a piece of candy.
In other words, moderation at a time when treats are plentiful. I'm Judy Fortin.
Before we go, a young driver races into the record books. Lewis Hamilton finished 5th at a Formula One race in Brazil yesterday. It's a good thing he did because that placement earned him top honors for the season, making Hamilton Formula One's youngest champ ever. He's 23 years old. He missed out on the title last year by just 1 point. This time, he's on the other side of that equation, winning by the same slim margin. That's going to bring out the checkered flag for us for today. Race back tomorrow for more CNN Student News.